So here is why a couple of days later, and he's better and I'm feeling a little bit better. This is kind of an evening time at Barlow, so I'm bringing him in for dinner. Gave him a call. I like to train my horses to come to a whistle, so however, sometimes it's hard for him to hear with it could be pretty windy here. And so he's been doing really well. Started him back slowly again. And have to say I had a comment on my last video about how all of a sudden Y has decided that I am kind of okay to come to in a 30-acre field. That was due to not having any expectations, instead of being very difficult to catch and bolting away at the slightest thing. So it's been quite the process with him, and again, he had some physical issues, and it was getting a little tough after his surgery because he had not been in training or work. He had just been kind of being fed, and we were just spending time with him and hanging out with him, and we worked on clicker training, and he was just very difficult. He had a lot of fear. He had a lot of flight still, which is a little frustrating because, again, I've had this guy for coming up on a year in June. And it really wasn't until I started him in under saddle work, it just kind of seemed like a light bulb for him. And I found sometimes with these guys, it's kind of not until you're really up on their back and they start to kind of really trust you in that you're pretty okay to be with. And he's been really fun, and he's starting to open up and really show some personality, and he likes his little smile trick. Now we're getting into the really fun part. So he's, again, been doing really well. I like to vary up the training, so we've been doing some hacking next to the road. And, of course, that's my dad. Hey, it's my dad! Oh, of course he scares me. After our ride, we came upon the tarp that was flapping, so just took the opportunity to have the horses stand by it. They did a great job. And then gave Y a nice bath. He's gotten really good about doing things at liberty now. And I feel like I've said this like a million times already on this vlog, but this is the fun part and the addicting part of training the Mustangs, is when you get them to finally let go and really see them enjoying and letting go of all their fear and wanting and choosing to be with you and enjoying their work. So again, this has been a long road with Y, but we are getting there, and so he is coming along super nicely. And this is our flat work, and we're almost, I think, at 30 days under saddle, and you see he's doing a really good job. He's allowing a little bit of connection, and I have a very light feel. It's like holding an egg, and I'm going to ask him for the canter, make sure I have my right shoulder balanced, and he picks it up lovely. Again, I'm just really going with what he's giving me here and all of the things of keeping him in balance. And you'll see he's now going in a Mylar D-ring comfort snaffle. He seems to really like this. And down transition to the trot and changing directions. I'm really asking him to kind of come from behind. We do a little trip there. And ask for the canter. He has a quite lovely canter, very nice and balanced. And I'm really just working on keeping him going forward and making sure we have our bend properly through our rib cage. And making sure we have our steering. And then I'm able to ask for the stop by using my voice and using my seat. So I had ended up giving my working student a lesson. You can see Win ears. She was on Win and had to put the jumps down low for the next young horse coming. So I decided it would be a good time to introduce Y to a little bit more of the colored show jump fences and playing around with a little bit of the grid work. So he has seen these before, and he's done a lot of groundwork with this as well, but it's a little different when you have a rider on top. So when I start the young horses, I like to keep things low that you know you can be successful with. And you can see the second time he was even more confident, willing to go forward. It's very important to stay back with your shoulder and legs around so the horse always has the balance. You never want to lean forward because that can tend to scare them sometimes. So this little jump has a little bit of a guiding rail, which I think is what he was looked at the most. But you'll see I come right around here. He's going to lock on. And he jumps it even more relaxed the third time. Very nice. Ended up cantering around. Now I am heading towards the grid, which I let him walk through just the poles first. And then set up the sides. And so I know he can walk through this. Another way is to just do alternate kind of the height. But he ends up going through there pretty nicely. And again, you can kind of build up as they need it. You start from the ground poles and go up from there. And now here's the second time. See his ears kind of go forward. He's like, oh yeah, I've got this now. And he was pretty straight too. Not too bad. And now our third time. I'm just going to guide him to kind of stay in the middle. And I was really pleased with how he did that. Nice and relaxed. Now I'm going to let him canter on. And still keeping a nice loose contact, making sure my balance and his balance is correct. Now I'm going to come and jump the little vertical, making sure we're nice and straight. And he does that lovely out of stride. So really pleased with his first little session of grid work. And here we were doing a trot set a day later. I'm on Riot, and again, we're a working student. Megan is on Win, and sometimes Y likes to come for a little trot sets with us when we're in the field, because this is in fact where he likes to hang out. So he felt like he was going to come with a little trot for us. And here's a little bit of video of seeing how relaxed he is really getting. My husband was working on the tractor, moving a wood pile and burning. And so Y had no problems giving in a good roll. And he's been pretty funny to watch him kind of assess the situation, see what's going on in his field. And he kind of doesn't care. He doesn't care. So you guys see all this open space. We've got all the way back there, and then we've got paddocks. But do you see where the Mustang has chosen? He has 30 acres, and he is in the paddock eating hay. Yep, eating the hay. Not eating this beautiful grass. Silly Mustang. Heading straight to the fire in the tractor.